As much as we'd like to think otherwise, sometimes all that remains of the people who once inhabited a town are whispers of forgotten memories aimlessly blowing in the breeze. To visit such a place, with ghosts of a town's former self drifting among the shadows, creates a desire in some to capture a piece from the past and hold it until some life is known. Hey sightseers, Sightseeing Sally here, and
Marty.
Today we're checking out an old
mining town, I would probably say, and some mines.
Yes, it's a ghost town basically now left to ruin up here called Kelly. And at one time they were mining mainly zinc and lead and a little bit of silver, maybe some copper.
Maybe a couple other minerals thrown in there.
Yeah, but the main thing was zinc. There's a special name for it. What was it again?
I don't know. I pretend to know everything, but I guess I don't.
You can see we're in rare form this morning, but we'll figure it out and we'll let you know what it is.
Come on along.
From what I understand, this area was settled in the early 1880s. It peaked with several thousand people at one point, and the post office was in operation from 1883 till about 1945. Over here is what's left of the town's cemetery. I had read online that there were at least 20 people buried here. I know there is one more modern grave here, right over there. It's hard to read with the snow, but whomever's buried here, it appears they died in February of 1997. But with the snow and the tall grass, we won't find any other graves if there are any here, so we might as well move on. Originally known as Middle Camp, the Kelly Township, established in 1884, was named after one of the claim owners whose last name was Kelly. According to one source, when Kelly failed to do the necessary assessments, another miner, known as Old Hutch, jumped the claim. This claim turned out to be the Kelly Mine. If you haven't noticed, we've abandoned the truck because our road has suddenly given way to rocky and a lot more treacherous. Looks like we've stumbled on our first indication of the town that once stood here, and that's this building. Or should I say what's left of this building. Kind of looks like you can look down in it.
Looks like a safe in the back there. Let's take another look. Just be able to see it from over here through this little hole. Yeah, there it is. I wonder if this building was an SA office, a bank, or just another building for the mine.
While Marty checks that out, I'm going to move along because we're probably going to be a little hard pressed for time. We're going to try and film 2 places today, hoping to get 2 separate videos out of it. Not sure if we will, but you know.
Safe been used for papers or possibly silver. They mined a little bit of silver out of here, but mostly zinc and lead. But all we got is a couple sticks and rocks in a heavily damaged safe. Oh well.
If you look right over there, you can see the foundation of a building that once stood here. From what I understand, the town was incorporated in 1884. They had banks, saloons, mercantiles, you know, churches, the usual that you would find in a mining town. But obviously, without an old town map, we're really kind of left in the dark as to what was what. By the way, I'm just coming off a migraine, so today I'm probably going to be wearing the sunglasses a lot more often. In case you're wondering why I'm hiding behind the lenses, it's just the sun is just way too bright. decided to take a hike farther up, A, to see if I could get a better view of the town site, and B, to see if I could discover anything else. If you look down there, you can see the head frame for what I believe is the Kelly mine. And then directly to the right of that is this huge pile of tailings. And in front of me is this contraption. Obviously it's some kind of hoist. If you look, it's got the wheel and then it'd have a chain coming down. So something that they use to hoist things up with. I'm not really sure, and Marty's not up here to be the expert, so we're just taking a guess that has something to do with hoisting stuff up out of the ground. And then, tucked away, hidden in the tall grass, is one of these. I bet Marty would be drooling over that thing if he was up here. And then down here in the trees I see something of interest. Wonder what that is. I know one way to find out, and that's to head back down. And I probably should anyways, just because I had meant to only hike up a little ways to see what I could see. And I don't want to leave Marty down below for too long. As you can see, there's quite a bit of snow on the ground. And as you can probably tell, I am way out of breath. Marty, how high are we up here?
Well, according to my watch, we're over 7,500 feet and we're roughly 3,000 feet above where we came from, so you will be a little winded. Heck, I'm winded.
If you look, you can see some old scrap iron just laying there in the snow. Marty says he thinks it could be some metal that's left over from some of the equipment that was used to lift the ore out of the shaft. If you look, you can see tracks from a rabbit that came through here at one point. What's that hanging in the tree, Marty?
Looks like an old spine.
Oh, yeah, I guess it does. It's longer than my arm. Check that out. Well, my forearm anyways. My weak muscles. If I'm not mistaken, at one time this is the location of where there was a boiler, a refractory, and an assay. And if you look up there, you can see the remains of what looks like a foundation for perhaps some sort of building that was used here. Over here, some old timbers laying, and then some more concrete, and over here it looks like almost adobe type bricks that are deteriorating in the New Mexico sun. It's my understanding they started mining here sometime in the 1880s and mined all the way through up until about the 1930s is when the ore started to play out, but they did do some smaller scale mining through World War II here. Right down here, where you can see that brick structure standing, are the remnants of the old Tribullian smelter. Supposedly, between 1904 and 1928, $21 million of zinc ore was mined here. And then there's this prominent structure, the most prominent feature of Kelly that's still left standing today. Erected in 1906 by Gustav Billing, it was purchased from Trailer Engineering Company of New York. Designed by Alexander G. Eiffel, yes, I believe that's the same Eiffel as in the Eiffel Tower. This started out as a kit made by Carnegie Steelworks of New Jersey. This tower stands over 121 feet in the air, and the shaft drops over 1,000 feet below the Earth's surface, where there happens to be 30-some miles of mine tunnels.
This reminds me of an old bridge with that lacing like that. Pretty cool. Let's take a look to see if we can see down in the mine itself. Oh yeah, that's deep. Giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Old Hutch, otherwise known as John S. Hutchison, is credited with starting most of the mining here. Arriving after serving in the Civil War, in spring of 1866, Old Hutch staked out the Juanita mine site after discovering lead. 3 weeks later, he laid a claim for the future graphic mine. One source indicates he had a partner, Pete Kinzinger, although not much else is said about Pete.
Besides the trailer shaft, just behind me with the famous Kelly head frame, there's at least one other shaft, and then I believe 4 mine tunnels here on the site.
Interestingly enough, in 1913, a company called the Tribullion Smelting and Development Company ended up selling the Kelly mine site to the Empire Zinc Company. Today, what's known as the Kelly mine site includes the trailer, partial, and billing shafts, along with several tunnels, including the Juanita, Germany, Sunshine, and Kelly.
Hey, look around. We are out in the middle of nowhere. And listen how quiet it is. Other than the passing jet in the sky, we're literally the only 2 people out here. But for being out in the middle of nowhere, surprisingly, the railroad had a line that came all the way up here, supposedly. I can't verify that. I did read that of that line, basically dead-ended here, over in Magdalena, which we'll be heading to next. And because this area was subjected to so many attacks by the Native Americans, they had one train car specially designated to take the women and children out of town if there was attack. So, and with Kelly being so close to Magdalena, I believe the story kind of goes along with both towns. But you know how that is. Time passes, people's memories fade, not very good documentation left from back then. Oh, by the way, Marty said that he believes that's part of an old furnace, maybe part of the smokestack. And then over here, there's some fallen timbers that are left over, and some water piping, and some more metal, likely part of that smokestack for the furnace. Quite the view from up here. You can see the head frame down there. And then it looks like some other pieces of the mining operation hidden in the trees. I do know that there was a stagecoach that ran daily. I imagine it ran between the towns, bringing people and supplies. Because you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's not like you've got easy access to all the things that the bigger cities, the bigger towns would have had for you. Well, if you look down there, you may catch a glimpse of Marty's red sweatshirt somewhere in the trees. I'm going to head down there myself. I guess he found some things related to the mine here. Was that the mine?
Yeah, if you look just over the back of the snowbank, you can see the original opening to the mine. All this must have collapsed from this ledge up here. But you still can get through right here. If you step up here and get a shot of this, you can see right down in it.
Alright, as long as I don't fall right down in it.
You still can get in. You still can probably get in over the top too.
Oh yeah.
Check out this over here.
Just gonna put that out there that I definitely don't want to be falling down no mine today. So, Marty's leading the way and I'm following. Apparently there's another tunnel or hole up ahead to see. Just have to go through these trees, and there you can see Marty standing there.
Somebody's scratching away at this hole recently.
Oh yeah. Don't want to get too close.
No, I don't want to fall in.
Neither do I.
It looks deep.
Yeah, it does. I believe the one mine shaft was over 1,000 feet.
Being how close these 2 mines are together, I'll bet you this little railway where they ran the ore carts out served both of these little mines. Let's take a look at it. Don't want to fall on that.
No, I don't want to be digging cactus spines out of my body either today. If I sidestep it, I should be okay.
Hurry up.
This is a situation where you don't want to be hurrying.
Watch out for rattlesnakes.
Yeah, they shouldn't be out now. There we go. Well, look at that. Here's the remains of the railway that they would have rolled the carts out on and dumped them. And what else did you find down there?
Here's the old railroad track that used to be up there.
Oh, cool. Oh, look. Still there. Pretty rusty.
Yep, still there.
Hasn't been driven on in a while by a rail car.
Or pilfered.
Or pilfered. Looks like we've stumbled on another mine opening up ahead. So you gotta be careful when you're out here because you just never know where people might have been digging, past or present. Can't see it from here, so we're gonna...
I'll go down and film it.
Alright, Marty's gonna go down and film it. I'm just gonna stay up here. I lied. Marty wants me to work my way up over the ridge and start making our way back to the trail.
And here's that elusive mine. Yeah, timbers are all collapsed in it. Yeah, I don't think I want to go in there.
Well, if you look, we made a big loop, went up along the ridge over there, then came down in through here, and now we're making our way back out. Oh, look.
While I don't know if this is an actual specimen, much of the zinc mined here was zinc carbonate, more commonly known as smithsonite.
Some more chunks of old glass here. Oh, this one's brown. Wonder if that was from a bottle or a jug. Some old scrap metal laying there. And some more scrap metal laying over there. Well, I think I'm coming up on that structure, that interesting structure that I saw from up above. It's right over here, just beyond these trees. I can tell you it's definitely not a building. Looks like some sort of structure that was used in the mining. Darn it, where's Marty when you need him? You can see all the rock that was left behind. Apparently it must not have enough mineral content to warrant taking along. Look at this specimen. Wouldn't it be something if that gold sparkle was really the metal gold? Unfortunately, I don't think it is. Check out this specimen. This might actually be the zinc that they were mining, or maybe even copper. This looks like it's oxidized, this green colored here. And then some old chunks of glass. It's pretty thick. Probably old pieces of glass that have been left behind. And then there's this curious thing in the ground. It says control point on it. That looks pretty modern, so I'm guessing it has something to do with boundaries, or maybe when they were mining more recently. I don't know. Another remnant of the old mining days here in Kelly. In case you're wondering, the reason that there's so few remains of homes and buildings here in Kelly is that when the last residents left in 1947, not only did they pack up their belongings, they also packed up parts of their buildings, just like they did in Kingston, and moved them over, most of them over to Magdalena. So they were the early ones to reuse their building materials. I guess we could probably learn something from them. You can see at one time they did have power out here because of the old telephone pole sitting there.
Unable to discover more about the lives of those who once called this place home, we leave the town site wondering what memories have been left behind.
Actually, it was for a telephone, not electricity, so they could call Aunt Alice when they missed her.
Well, what I want to know is, who the is Alice? Right, Craig? Okay, I know. I said a naughty word here on YouTube. It's bleeped out, but it's a joke. I don't normally speak like that. Okay, maybe sometimes I do, but I definitely don't on YouTube. But there's a few people out there going to catch that reference, so I couldn't resist.